Yeah, I'm very happy to be back. I got goosebumps when I walked on to Armstrong the first day, and it just brought me back to, 2019. And it's nice to have those feelings going into a tournament. So I'm feeling good, and I'm healthy, so it's great.
Court.
Bianca, just on that, congrats on being healthy. But also just in terms of how you're playing, how you're practicing. I mean, results can be deceptive. We've had players come in here and say, "I've lost a bunch of matches, but I'm playing well," and vice versa. So, can you give an assessment of kind of where you think your level is at right now?
Yeah, I think everyone knows by now I started working with Sven Grunewald, and he's been helping me a lot with different aspects. And so right now, I'm basically applying what he's been telling me, and I see a huge difference in practice. And at this point, I just need matches to really be able to execute as I want. And so that's why we're trying to play as many practice sets as possible. And, like at the Rogers Cup, I had this toe thing, and even in Cincinnati, it really bugged me, so I don't really count that as much. And it's pretty unfortunate that happened because I would have loved to continue playing matches. But, yeah, I know practice and competing in a real tournament is different, but it's just how it goes, and I'm hoping I can get a lot of matches in this couple of weeks.
Hi, Bianca. Victoria Case of USOpen.org. You have spoken in the past kind of being a confidence player, and with the lack of matches that you say you need, does coming back here and having that reaction like you say you had to the site, are you able to lean on that, you think, a little bit as almost to make up for the lack of matches?
I think it will. I can't really say now because, I'm not in the tournament yet. But I had that same feeling at the Rogers Cup because I was basically going in as defending champion. And I was feeling good, and I think it did bring me some confidence. It was super unfortunate what happened, but, I was feeling good out there. And so I'm hoping it can do the same here at the US Open.
Bianca, Blair Henley, tennis.com. You always seem, or at least appear, pretty game when it comes to your media obligations, whether it's a presser, whether it's doing things for a tournament or an appearance off the court. Do you feel like the fact that players in general haven't had as much of that, or if they have, it's looked different in the past year and a half because of the pandemic? Do you think there's maybe more tolerance or patience or a desire to do those things?
You mean like media?
Yeah, whether it's
because I didn't have the chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thought. Never really thought of that, but I've never really had a big problem, doing all those things. After losing, it kind of sucks that you have to do it, but I mean it's part of the job. And as an athlete, we basically have to learn how to cope with stuff like that. But I'm sure for other players, it definitely helped not having, the same amount of media and all that because of the pandemic. But for me, I feel good going in.
Is it nice, though, to sort of have people and
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so different. I wasn't expecting so many people here right now. I always get to see them on TV, so it's super nice.
Okay. Willie.
Hi, Bianca. Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. As a player who had her greatest success on a hard court and right here, what do you appreciate most when you see Naomi Osaka play hard court tennis?
She's kind of like the face of hard court tennis, so it's really nice to, have her alongside me and so many other players. She definitely motivates me to do better. And she's a very nice person as well. I love that she, speaks up for mental health and all that stuff. So I respect her a lot.
And what about her game do you think is most suited for this surface?
Well, she's just a power hitter. She loves to hit the ball, and she's smart with it. She has a big serve, a good return game, and I think that's what really helps her a lot on the hard.
All right, just to remind the online people, if you have a desire to join the press conference, message the interview room 1 on the chat. David.
Just a question about your team. For so long you had one voice in Sylvan, so what has it been like to have a different voice, and what was the decision like for you to maybe realize you wanted to make a change?
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the main reasons was I wanted someone to do full time with me, and Sylvain couldn't because, you know, he has kids, and it's totally understandable. They're very young as well. And I wanted to, well, that's basically the biggest reason. And, you know, I felt like our time was coming to an end, basically. And, like, looking for a new coach, I really wanted someone that has a lot of experience with Grand Slam champions, and Sven is, like, perfect for that. And I got to FaceTime him, you know, before actually meeting him. I spoke to a couple of other coaches, but Sven really stood out. And we got along very well on that FaceTime call, and I was hoping that it would be the same in person, and it was. We connect very well on and off the court. He brings a lot of different insight than what I've had in the past. He really focuses on details, and I've seen that help me a lot on the court. And he also looks at the mental side of things as well, which is super important for me. It's just like your pep talk during matches, during points, and all of that, and how important that is. And I'm seeing a huge improvement.
Okay. Last question in the room, Court.
Bianca, just with your success in Miami, and then also just playing well and kind of rediscovering things in Rogers Cup, I think, a little bit, do you feel like, you know, injuries aside, that it's there, that you're not that far off from the way that you want to play? Because even I know it seems like so long ago, but hard court wise, it wasn't that long ago in terms of Miami.
Yeah.
And what you did. So, you know, yeah, how close do you feel? And then just a second quick question on Sven, whether or not the discussions that you guys are having about your game, whether or not it's about kind of the short-term gains, or are you guys looking more long-term in terms of how your game develops?
To answer that question quickly, it's always long-term. He always thinks long-term, and what we also do is we create short-term process goals, because I feel like I've been looking too much at results just because of how well I was doing in 2019. But I have to tell myself, like, I'm not the same person back then than what I am now. And, you know, taking so much time off, I feel like it helped me in many ways, but then, you know, getting into that competitive mindset, it kind of, like, brought me back a little bit. I feel like that's also a reason why I haven't had, like, you know, the results I wanted, but I'm really trying to focus on process and long term, because I'm also only 21, and you know, I want to be able to do what, like, 21-year-olds do, because I feel like in 2019 it was just like tennis, you know, and I got burnt out towards, like, the end of the year, and that, I don't know, that probably correlated to injuries. I have no idea, but I really looked at everything, and I'm in a really good place right now. And it's also, like, day by day, you have to experience new things and kind of just adapt as the days go by. But, yeah, that's that question. And then the other one, even in Miami, I didn't feel like I was at my best. I know I got to the finals and all of that, but I was struggling with a lot of other things on the side, and I think it did show up in my tennis a little bit. But that whole, like, confidence thing, I'm just going to have to play matches. That's all I can really say. Play matches, continue to train hard, prepare well, prepare mentally. Mentally is super important too, and yeah, nutrition, all that stuff. So I'm trying to stay patient. So if I do all of that, I know I'm going to get back to, or get to where I want to be.
Okay, we have one last question online from our home run hitter. You can take a look on the left. There he is, Big Rex. Rex, tee it up.
Hey, Rex.
You're live.
I read that you like rap music. Who is the best Canadian rapper? Drake, Dennis Shapovalov, or someone else?
Damn, I don't know if someone can compete with Dennis, really. He's really been stepping up his game. Honestly, I think Dennis is a really good rapper, and I'm sure he can, like, do way more in that if he practices, and, you know, maybe he can collab with someone. I have no idea. But it's really nice that he's doing that, because it brings, like, a different vibe to the tennis game, you know, and I feel like we need that, because we have a lot of younger audiences like you. I mean, you're talking about it right now. Other than Dennis, though, I really like Drake. I listen to a lot of The Weeknd and Jessie Reyez.
Okay, is that good for you, Rex? You good? Good. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.